This is Brennan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, and welcome back to the Lumen Stock Car Invitational. This is season number 3, race number 19, and we're here at possibly the most famous track in the whole of the USA. It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard, for another race here. This is the second race we've run at the Brickyard. Kobe Hollenbeck won this race last year when it was really late in the schedule. It's still kind of late this season, but not nearly as late as it used to be, as we kind of pushed it up towards the middle of the summer. But either way, this should be a good race for sure. And as you might be able to tell from my voice, my nose is a bit stuffy. I've been sick. I got COVID about a week ago, and I'm still kind of recovering from it. So I might not be commentating as much, but thankfully I've got my co-commentator here today, Caleb Rose. And Caleb, what is your experience watching races at this racetrack? What are you expecting to happen here today?
Um, from experience, I can say that this is probably going to be a great race. Indianapolis usually cooks some really fun racing, and this ought to definitely be a fun one. I know all these guys definitely want to win this thing, so sure, everyone will probably be aggressive. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun here from Indy. Should be pretty interesting too. First, you got Tim Berry, the points leader, starting up towards the front. I'll have to see if he can hang on, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down.
The track that I can most closely compare this one to that we've gone to so far is probably Pocono. They're both 2.5 mile kind of flat tracks with kind of similar racing going on. But of course, Indianapolis actually has 4 corners, and Pocono only has 3. So it definitely races a little bit differently, but there are enough similarities to where if you're doing well at Pocono, you'll probably also do well at this track. On the front row, it's a pair of Motor Racing Ventures teammates. It's the one car of Jacob Lopez starting on pole alongside the 45 of Rebecca Raymond. And Raymond was also on the top of the charts in practice. So this 45 car has shown some speed here today. Row number 2, like Caleb mentioned, it's the 11 of Tim Berry, the points leader. He has a 34-point lead over second place Kevin DuPont. He's up by 42 on George Bryan, and he's up by 48 on Tyler Landry and 49 on Darren Walker. That's your top 5 in points. Landry starts alongside him today. Landry had a good opportunity last race we ran at Canadian Tire to gain some points, but he took himself out of the race in turn number 10 and fell to 4th in points as a result. He starts alongside Berry here. And I believe it was Landry who headed into this race with a massive points lead of his own last year, and then he ended up getting caught up in a wreck, and then his championship rival, Kobe Hollenbeck, ended up winning the race and tightening the gap back up. Row number 3 is the 39 of Laken Herndon alongside the 01 of George Bryan. Row 4 is the 99 of Akia Tajima and the 27 of Oscar Duvall. Then it's the 28 of Adrian Wheeler, last race's winner at Canadian Tire, and the 88 of Joe Smith alongside him. Row number 6, it's the 41 of Karina Willis Calloway and the 98 of Kevin DuPont, the second place driver in points, starting not too far back in the pack, so he could definitely catch up to Tim Berry in this race. Row number 7, Luana Connie in the 25, starting right behind her girlfriend and teammate, and the 77 of JT Boyd, who was 2 laps away from winning a Canadian Tire before the race-winning pass was completed on him in turn 1 with 2 laps to go. Looking for some redemption here today. Then it's Ryan Silva in the 19, driving the 3rd Hudson Motorsports car. They've been entering this 3rd car because they are trying to prepare for an expansion in season number 4. We'll see if that ends up getting off the ground, but Ryan Silva drove this car at Canadian Tire, and he's back in the car again at Indy. Alongside him is the 24 car of Coopersburg. Then it's 2 of the 4 development driver rides. It's the 15 of Damon Kirby and the 52 driven by not really a Ford development driver, but still Adrienne Pearson. And when Adrienne Pearson's in the field, you got to keep an eye out for her because she's been very strong this season when she's been in these races. And Pearson said that she's interested in going full time again next season if a ride opens up for her. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for Adrienne Pearson in silly season as well. Zach Dearman in the 18 alongside the 70 of Andrew Kreider. Then it's the 3 car of Billy Smith alongside Kate Summers in the 92. Kate Summers' teammate, Vinny Scholes, starts behind her alongside the 29 of JB Chanot. Then it's the 8 car of Darren Walker alongside the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck, who won this race last year. Former open wheel driver, that was a big win for him last season. Of course, he dominated that race. So we'll see. This time he starts from deep in the field, so we'll see if he can work his way up there and try and get himself his 4th career win. 55 car, Michael Harvin alongside the 6 of Holly Martin. And then it's Laurie Jackson in the 7 alongside Shauna Everett in the 57, the leading drivers from rival teams. And then it's the Diamond Motorsports teammates, Cheryl Simmons in the 58 and the 65 of Jack Gino. Corbin Taps starts way in the back alongside the 5 of Joanna Clark. And rounding out the field, definitely not helping her recent slide, is the 85 of Charlie McCarran. This is going to be a 40-lap race. It will be a 2-stop race, but the second pit stop will be pretty close to the end of the race, so there will be a very short sprint to the end after that second cycle. They can make it, the window's about 15 to 17 laps, so that's about when we'll see them pit, but of course we could get some cautions that could disrupt the cycle and change the fuel outcome for sure.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field is going to roll off here on the backstretch entering turn 3. 35 cars here ready to duke it out. And Caleb, who is your pick to win here today at the Brickyard?
Call me crazy, but I think I'm going to go with that 45 of Rebecca Raymond. Raymond's looked fast. She looked fast in bump practice. Qualified up here on the front row. That 45 has been fast all weekend long. I think Rebecca Raymond's kind of been on a stride as of late. I think this 45 might finally break through here today.
And it was announced not too long ago that James Harvin would be taking over that 45. Rebecca Raymond now without a ride. So some good runs could definitely do her some good here in finding a ride for next season. Pace car is pulling off into the pit lane, and it will be Raymond alongside her teammate Jacob Lopez, who will lead the field to the green. And we are racing here at Indianapolis. Coming off of turn number 4, Lopez looks like he's going to lead the first lap. Tim Berry and Rebecca Raymond broke away. This is the front 3 starters kind of breaking away from the rest of the field. Lakin Herndon, Tyler Landry rounding out the top 5. And they're side by side behind for 6th, the Kia Tajima George Bryan, as well as the 88 of Joe Smith. Of course, this track is a very inside lane heavy racetrack, but what else is very important in this track is the draft. The main way you're going to see cars passing each other is getting that run all the way down the straightaways and then making a dive bomb move in the corners. And that can create some incredible moments, and that can also create some crashes. So that's something that we got to look out for throughout the rest of the race.
And Barry already pulling up to the back bumper of the one at Jacob Lopez. Like he mentioned, the draft. That 11 in the draft of the 1 car. Looking really fast, taking a peek down to the inside as they come down the front straightaway to complete lap number 2. Looks like he might have enough momentum to get him into turn number 1, and it looks like that's going to be the case. Tim Berry's going to clear for the race lead, but Rebecca Raymond going to follow him right through, and now the 45 is trying to go after the 11 for the lead. And now here comes Raymond with a great run there off of turn number 2. Looking to the inside as they go down the back straightaway. Jacob Lopez gonna slot in behind Raymond, gonna help the teammate through. And Raymond's gonna be able to stick to the inside. Some great teamwork there by the Motor Racing Ventures teammates.
Absolutely. And Raymond's going to get pushed to the lead. Tim Berry definitely wanted that bonus point for leading the lap. But Rebecca Raymond said, nuh-uh, I'm going to take it for myself. Even though she's way down there in the point standings, you know, she's got her own things to prove here. She's back in 30th in the points. So, yeah, she has her own things to prove aside from the championship battle. Jacob Lopez is 17th in points. He's had a pretty up and down season. Of course, he got the win at Kansas, so he does have a win on the season, but you know, it's not really been up to Jacob Lopez standards for the most part. He's running good here today. McPicky Motorsports teammates going side by side. It's the 11 of Barry and the 66 of Landry. Landry will slot in behind Barry, and then it's another pair of teammates, this time for Columbia Motorsports. But Herndon's going to go up the racetrack, and Tajima's going to make a pass on him for 5th place.
Got 3 pairs of teammates, like you said, up here in the top 6. First 2 cars are Motor Racing Ventures. 3rd and 4th, we got McPicky, and 5th and 6th, we've got Columbia Motorsports. All up here trying to work together. Honestly, kind of looks like a tandem drafting race right now, as all the teammates are linked up, but the Motor Racing Ventures teammates out in front for the time being. Rebecca Raymond trying to hold the race lead, but probably not the place you want to be, because got all these guys behind her that are going to have the draft, although Jacob Lopez kind of going to hang back there, and here comes the McPicky Motorsports teammates of Landry and Barry trying to split up the 2 Motor Racing Ventures cars. Landry, is he gonna... Oh, he sails it into turn 3. That might have been a bit far back there, but he was not taking no for an answer.
That was dangerous for the 11 car, sideswiping the 1 through turn number 4, but he's going to get the spot. Landry will follow suit. What started all that is Lopez did not have a good exit off of turn 2, and that killed him all the way down the backstretch. That's the other thing. You really got to nail these corners, because if you don't, you're going to feel it for a while, and that was another factor that we saw at Pocono, and another thing that makes this track similar to that one. The long straightaways, the kind of tight corners with the minimal banking, really, you see Lopez is still feeling it a lap later because he got stuck on the outside. The 99 is going to get by him, and now Karina Willis-Callaway is underneath him, trying to take that position away. How about Oscar Duvall? He started up in the top 10, and he's still up here in the top 10, looking for a rare good run this season in that 27 car. And it's not expected that he's going to return to that ride next season, and no official statement, but considering how he's been struggling in this car basically ever since he's been in it, you'd imagine that NH Motorsports would want to move on. But Duvall running pretty good here today. We'll see if he can keep it up. He's taking it 3 wide.
Boy.
Oh, risky business here in the back half of the top 10. They're crashing.
Brian around goes 19.
Luana Connie is involved. Kate Summers.
And
that's a big pile up. Charlie McCarran flipping through the grass. Way up in the air. McCarran. Oh my goodness. Horrible crash on the back straightaway on lap number 7. Corbin Taps is involved as well. McCarran going back to the pits. The race back to the line. It will be the 45 of Rebecca Raymond getting there first, but a massive, massive crash down the back straightaway early in the race. Charlie McCarran going way high up in the air after getting hit. Oh boy. Shauna Everett, JB Chanot, Darren Walker, Cheryl Simmons, Damon Kirby involved in the 15. Cooper Spur has a lot of damage. Adrian Wheeler has damage. Oh man. Billy Smith, Lori Jackson.
That's gonna take out a lot of cars.
That was like half the field. And one of them was Charlie McCarran, and that was a violent crash for the 85. And that's not the kind of crash you want to see, especially so soon after the one that Montana Sherman was in that knocked him out for the season. But first caution of the race here on lap number 8. We'll see if anyone comes in and pits this time by. And it looks like they're all going to come in, at least the front runners are. They're going to come in for some pits, probably going to take some 4 fresh Goodyears. And for those with damage, repair what damage they have. That's some severe damage on the 28. I wonder if there was a second, and the 24. I wonder if there was a second accident as they were racing back. We'll have to check that on the replay because I didn't see them involved in the crash. But we'll have to see as all these cars come into the pits. Here you see Landry coming into his pits. Raymond's in her pits back there. Joe Smith has some right side damage. There's Silva exiting the pits after repairing damage. Oh, and Tim Barry, it looks like looks like he's going to jump Rebecca Raymond in the pits, and he will be the first one out. Raymond will drop to second, and then it will be Landry, and then a battle for fourth. It will be Tajima getting the spot away from Karina. So first caution of the race here. Early in the going on lap number 7, and you can see just the sheer number of cars out of the race. The 28, 29, 85, 8, 24, 7, 58, 16. That is 15 cars. Or the 15 car. That'll make it 9 cars out of the race. That is quite a significant number. And Ryan Silva is 1 lap down after the damage he received in the accident. And that's not even all the cars that were in it. But a violent accident on the back straightaway. We're going to get you your replay of that, and then we'll take you back to the restart here at Indianapolis. Well, here you see Luana Connie diving it in on Joe Smith in turn number 2, and that's what's going to start this wreck. Both cars are going to get into the outside wall, and then the 19 of Ryan Silva just gets hooked, and it is just calamity down the backstretch. Adrian Wheeler, Kate Summers pile in, and then here you see Charlie McCarron gets run into by her teammate and team owner, and then kicked up into the air hard into the driver's side from Cooper Spur, and then the rolls begin, and it looks like there was some more. Oh, there was another car upside down there. Adrian Wheeler went rolling through the grass. I suspected there were 2 different accidents, but oh my goodness, I did not expect 2 violent rolls in the same crash. And that's what took Wheeler out of the race, and Cooper Spur with a lot of damage. So we had 2 cars flip over in that one. Just a violent accident on the back straightaway at Indianapolis, and I hope the drivers are okay after that. Both Adrian Wheeler and Charlie McCarron going on a heck of a ride, and plenty of other cars involved.
You're going to see right here, Luana Connie sends it into turn 2, runs the 88 out of room, up onto the outside wall, and Connie's just going to ricochet back down to the 19 of Ryan Silva. That's going to spin them both around. And from that point, the track is just completely blocked, and you're seeing there McCarron just gets ran over by teammate Darren Walker and goes violently flipping in the infield after getting sent over by the 24 Cooper Spur. A violent accident there for the 85 of McCarron. Hopefully she's okay, but a lot of destroyed race cars after that one, and had another flip in this accident as well.
Well, here we're going to focus on Adrian Wheeler. He gets a piece of the wreck here, but his flip was actually unrelated. He just kind of cut across Holly Martin, and he just goes over. Gets pushed over by the 6. Violent rolls down the back straightaway. And that was a nasty crash too, but it was completely unrelated to the first one. And so 2 separate violent rollovers on the back straightaway. Although Wheeler was involved in that first crash just by a little bit, he probably would have been okay, but just a lack of judgment there by the 28. Just cutting in front of Holly Martin, and it's going to take both of them out of the race. And hopefully Wheeler is okay after that tumble, as that was a very violent one indeed. On board with Cooper Spur. It was just too late for him to do anything. He got on the brakes to try and avoid it, but he couldn't see through the smoke, and then by the time the 85 got in his path, he didn't have any time to do anything. Welcome back here at Indianapolis. Completing lap number 11 of 40. We're going to have a restart here on lap number 12. 9 cars are out of the race after the accident that brought out the first caution. There you see all of them right there. Kirby, Simmons, Taps, Wheeler, Chanot, McCarron, Walker, Spur, and Everett all out of the race. And of course, the one we're most concerned with is the 85 of Charlie McCarron, who went flipping violently down the back straightaway. Everyone that's still on the track is on the lead lap. Ryan Silva lined up as tail end of lead lap, so we waved him around. So the remaining 26 cars will all be on the lead lap. Tim Berry, the points leader, will lead them back. Rebecca Raymond in second. Then it's Tyler Landry, Akia Tajima, and the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway. The pace car pulls off into the pits. And we are back under green here at Indianapolis. Good restart by Tajima and good restart by Raymond. Raymond looking underneath the 11 of Barry, but Barry's going to block her in turn number 2. Tajima's going to move up into third. Landry was caught napping on that restart. Looks like he'll only lose one spot, though, as Karina Willis-Callaway and George Bryan battle each other for 5th. Andrew Kreider going to try and look at 3 wide heading into turn 3. They're going to make contact, but they get out of the 3 wide and they don't crash. But that could have ended pretty badly right there, but thankfully it didn't. They kept themselves together.
3 wide here at Indianapolis is usually a death sentence. Good thing they were able to keep it together there and stay straight. But for the lead, here comes Rebecca Raymond in the 45, looking to take the race lead back away with help from both Tajima and even Tyler Landry. Tim Berry probably feeling a little bit betrayed by that one, but Rebecca Raymond's going to take the race lead away and is going to try to pull away a little bit from Akia Tajima, who's now under fire from the 66 of Tyler Landry. He might have not fired off that well, but he sure is running well right now. Tajima with a big run, though, down the back straightaway. He got a good draft off of Raymond. Is going to look to the inside in turn 3. Raymond tried to come down and block, but Tajima was there.
Kia Tajima looking to get his way to the front of the field. He won at Kentucky a few races ago. Now he finds himself out front again. And we've mentioned it a couple of times by now, but every single race this season, all 18 of them have had different winners. You look at the 45 and 66 who have not won races yet this season, and the 41, but you also have the 11 of Barry and the 99 of Tajima that have won already this season. One of them trying to become the first repeat winner this season. That would be huge for them, especially for Barry for that points lead. Karina Willis-Callaway will move to 4th. Landry stuck on the outside lane. Here comes Lakin Herndon. Here comes Adrienne Pearson. And it seems like just about every race that she's in, she always shows up here in the top 10. Could this be the day for Adrienne Pearson? Could she finally break that winless drought? And just as I say that, she overshoots turn 4 a little bit. So she might be feeling the effects of that one down the front stretch as Andrew Kreider looks to the inside. But up front, Rebecca Raymond trying to get the draft off of the 99 of Tajima. We'll see if Raymond ends up making a move here soon for the race lead.
Trying to pull into the back bumper, the 99 through 1 and 2. Looking to maybe try and get that run off of 2. Oh, Akia Tajima slipped up a little bit there off of turn number 2. We'll see what kind of run Raymond has down the back, but Tajima actually had a really good exit there. Raymond did not. Here comes the 11 of Tim Berry looking to the inside. And not quite going to get there. Raymond's going to chop him off. He probably had to get out of the gas there. And that probably cost him a little bit of ground there as Raymond trying to catch back up to the 99 of Tajima. As we come out of turn number 4. Raymond, he might have a good run here coming down the front straightaway. But for the moment, Raymond's just kind of playing it safe, being patient, and staying in behind the 99 for the moment.
Raymond trying to get a good run off of 1. Maybe try something in the short shoot. Not enough there. And she's looking to the inside in turn 2 once again, but she's still there. Just a quick look on the slower traffic. This 19 is well off the pace, so he will likely be flagged off the track eventually. But he's still about half a lap behind them, so we don't need to do that right now. But we do want to avoid a Kentucky situation, so we'll monitor him for a few laps, and if he's still If he's still not picking up the pace, then he will be disqualified from the race. But Tajima's holding the lead pretty steady. Raymond's just kind of biding her time back there. She doesn't need to make any drastic moves here, because we still got over half the race left. The tandem of Barry and Callaway back there in third and fourth, both of them were competing up at the front at Michigan. Barry ended up winning that race. Oh, Callaway right up at the quarter panel of the 11 car. That kind of upset the 11 a little bit of side draft. I didn't even know you could side draft in this game. Apparently you can, but Barry was able to hold off Karina Willis Callaway for now. And Tajima's running a bit of a higher line in the corner, maybe looking for a better exit. But Raymond's diving it in deep, and these cars back here are kind of bunching together here, trying to get a run on this top two. As Lakin Herndon, in fifth place, attaches him to this draft. Now he looks to the inside of Karina Willis Callaway for fourth.
That's definitely going to maybe hurt their momentum a little bit as Herndon goes for the pass. Looks like he's going to be able to clear going through turn number 2, and it looks like Landry's also going to find his way through as well. But the top 8 all kind of in a line right now, all the way back to Adrian Fearson. And then a little ways back, you got the 27 of Oscar Duval. Not really familiar with seeing Oscar Duval up here in the top 10, but having a good run there for NH Motorsports, which is always nice to see. Also got the 79 coming up with Kobe Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck was in a little bit of danger of potentially DNQing from this race, which is honestly kind of surprising since, of course, he is the open wheel guy and the prestige that comes with open wheel in Indianapolis after all, but made the race regardless, and he's trying to make his way through the field, looking right outside the top 10 right now. So, good stuff there from the 79 of Hollenbeck.
And of course, Hollenbeck won this race last year. He dominated the race last year, led all but 8 laps. So it's not surprising to see the 79 working his way through the field despite the kind of rough season he's had. He did get a win earlier at Iowa, though. Also want to shout out Joanna Clark, sitting in 12th place. This car finished finished third, actually. In the last race at Canadian Tire with Takamoto Aya, and Aya was making her first start. I think this 5 team's starting to find some speed lately, especially since they switched paint schemes, I guess, but nice to see the 5 up there. Kobe Hollenbeck's going to clear this pack. He's going to move himself into the top 10. And up front, the situation has not changed much. The 45 and 99 still tandeming away from the pack. And Barry and Landry are once again going to work together, this time to try and get by the 39 of Lakin Herndon. And Herndon's going to get stuck on the outside. He might get pushed to the back of this pack. Andrew Kreider shoves himself underneath the 52 of Adrian Fearson. That was an aggressive move there out of the 70. And we'll see if it works out here for him. Going into turn number 3, he's still going to be inside in the preferred lane. Oh, the 66 just bumped his teammate up the track. Oh my goodness. And you know what? They're both competing for the championship. And I really don't expect Landry to be working with Barry that much. I'm surprised he's helping him as much as he is. But, you know, they might be teammates, but they're both going after the championship. So, you know they still got to be competitive with one another.
And definitely could see some tension here between these McVicky cars, but right now keeping it clean, keeping it respectful, which is always nice to see. But taking a look at the back of the pack here, look who's driven all the way up here and is now joined up to this pack. Oscar Duval has driven all the way up here. He's now on the back bumper of the 70 of Andrew Kreider. That 27 is looking really quick here, as now he's trying to find his way potentially up into this lead battle.
Yeah, we have these front 9 that are all in a big pack here. And Tajima's going to arc low there in the corner and try and get himself away from the 45 of Rebecca Raymond. But we've got this front 9 back here. Then we've got this small group back here of 3. It's Hollenbeck, Lopez, and the other NH Motorsports car, JT Boyd, in the 77. So, oh boy. Things heating up here as the 66 is getting passed by Lakin Herndon, and he's probably going to get passed by a few others as they all checked up in the middle of the corner. Ooh, the 70 once again getting close to the 52 car. He's been racing that 52 car very tight these last couple of laps. Definitely got to watch out for him. If he's not careful, he could end up spinning the 52 car, possibly himself as well. That's definitely something you don't want to do here. as Duval's going to get by him as Kreider washes up the... Oh, no!
Oh,
Collision!
Karina!
Karina Willis-Callaway too hard into turn 4. This 52 car is just getting roughed up here in this race, and I'm sure Adrian Furson's not a big fan of that.
Just through goes Oscar Duval.
Yeah, Duval goes ahead and just passes all of them because they're racing each other so tough that the 27's just like, yep, I'm just going to go by all of you. And there is a dent in the left side of that 52 car, and might be a little bit of one on the right side of the 41 as well. But thankfully not major contact. That they should be fine, even with aero being as much of a factor as it is. You see the 52 still working on the 70 here, so they should be good to go for the race. Speaking of good to go, it is notable that that caution happened on lap number 7. They came in and pitted the lap after. Or I guess they came in and pitted on lap 9. There you see the 19 of Ryan Silva pulling into the pits unprompted. I did not DQ him. He just came into the pits, so that makes my job a little easier. But yeah, they pitted around lap 9, and the fuel window's about 15 to 17 laps, so it's going to be close for these guys in terms of making it to the end. They should be coming in pretty soon, within the next few laps. So, and the 19 coming in is kind of like the harbinger to when the cycle's going to start. So we might end up seeing the leaders come in this lap.
Might just do it. We'll see if anyone elects to come in. Doesn't look like any of our front runners are. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's going to be coming down this time by, which I think what the goal might be is they're trying to stretch it as far as they can, because fuel run being 15 to 17 laps. If they pit now, it's going to be really, really close to making it to the end. So they're probably trying to just stretch it as far as they can so they can guarantee that they can make it to the end from here. So everyone's probably just riding around right now. Well, at least the 99 and the 45 looks like they're riding around. Everyone behind them's going absolutely crazy right now. Man, Oscar Duval now trying to go for the 3rd position on Lakin Herndon. I'd watch out for this 27 as we get into the second run of this race. He's been really, really fast, especially as we get later and later into this run.
He's been picking off all these guys one by one, been very impressive and efficient in passing. Once again, all the leaders stay out this time by, so they're making sure that they can get it. And this 19 car is going very slow. I don't know if I don't think there will be enough time for me to DQ him, so I'm just going to hold that in there and only use it if I know it's safe to, because, again, the last thing we need is another... The thing is, though, this 19 is on fresher tires, and these guys aren't, so I don't even think he's running slower than them right now. But maybe a little bit, but not to a destructive degree, so he might stay out there. So pitting early might have been a really good strategy by Ryan Silva to keep himself in the race. We'll see if they come in this time by, and again, it doesn't look like they will. They're going to stretch this to the very end of the run so that they won't have to worry about it at the finish of this race. And, oh, is there caution? Caution is out.
Oh boy, there is.
I think Michael Harbin might have been in it. So, there will not be a cycle of green flag pit stops, that's for sure. It might have just been him. Maybe one of these other damaged cars has something to do with it. Holly Martin has some damage, but I don't know how much of that was from the first crash and how much of it was from this, but... Seems like a much more minor accident compared to the first caution, but this one happens on lap 27, a very convenient time for everybody, because now they can all come down and pit and not have to deal with the cycle and then just kind of run their stuff to the end. This will be the money stop. Gotta make sure you can't afford to make any mistakes during this pit stop right here, because the better your pit stop is, the better you'll be set up for the end of this race. And I'd imagine every single car on the track should be coming into the pits this time. Laurie Jackson might be getting the free pass. Oh, the 5.
Joanna Clark.
I think the 5 is a lap down. You see, she scored as 24th, so she must have come in. I'm not sure who was... I don't know who was a lap down, aside from the 19, when the actual caution came out, because the 7 was coming out of the pits, so... Don't know if we'll be using a free pass this time, but we'll see. We'll figure it out under the caution. Something else we need to figure out is who's going to get out of the pits first. Jack dropped on the 66 there. 45 is out. And the 70, extended stay for Kia Tajima and the 66. And it's a photo finish. They're saying Kreider got out first. It was a photo finish between him and the 45 of Rebecca Raymond on the race off, so Andrew Kreider jumped several drivers, and he will now be your race leader here at Indy. What a stop by the 70 crew. Raymond in second, Barry in third, and then Landry and Tajima. JT Boyd is now up in the top 10. Vinnie Scholes is now up in the top 10. We have not mentioned her all race long, and now she's shown up here.
A lot of shakeups under this caution.
Yeah, and you saw how slow the 99 and 66 were getting out of the pits. Those are the kind of mistakes that you can't afford on that last pit stop, and Andrew Kreider just... great execution for the 70 car. And if these cars elect not to pit here, which I don't think any of them will because they already did under caution, they'll all get waved around, and all of them will end up getting their laps back, so... the free pass would be rendered redundant in this scenario. But yeah, the second caution of the day is out for, I believe, a 1 or 2 car accident involving Michael Harvin. Still got 26 cars in the race, and we're going to have a shootout to the end here at Indianapolis. Watching Michael Harvin here for the second caution. He runs up the track, and he gets into the 6 of Holly Martin, who also kind of slid up the track, and then they both go up into the wall, and then they collide as they hit the wall, and Michael Harvin spins off of turn number 2, and nobody else was involved in the accident. This was a single car spin. But that is the second car to cross paths with Holly Martin in this race. And speaking of which, Adrian Wheeler was released from the care center. He is okay. But he said he wished he had a barf bag for that because he had a bit of an accident in his helmet. But other than that, he's okay. Other than the horrible smell, he should be fine. Still waiting on Charlie McCarron's condition. We know that she is awake and alert, and was talking to the officials as they were, and the medical staff as they were taking her to the infield care center. So that's a good sign for sure. And we'll update you on her condition when we get it.
A bit of an interesting one here, as kind of both Michael Harvin and Holly Martin are going to overshoot the corner there, and Martin gets into the outside wall, and Harvin kind of just runs the 6 out of room there on exit, and sends the 55 spinning around. But a much smaller crash this time around, just a single car spin for the 55 of Harvin, but that is going to trigger the caution. So this definitely ought to be interesting. So that'll eliminate the need for green flag pit stops, and it'll set us up for a late race restart here from Indy.
Welcome back here at Indianapolis. We're setting up for a 10-lap shootout here at the end of this one. No drivers were knocked out of the race after that incident. Under our second caution of the day. Still got 26 cars in the race, all of which are on the lead lap. It's Andrew Kreider, after an excellent pit stop, who's going to lead them to the green. Rebecca Raymond running behind him in second. You know she's desperate for a win. Andrew Kreider actually has never won a race before, so you know he's desperate for a win too. Tim Berry in third. Tyler Landry in fourth. Akia Tajima in fifth. Karina Willis-Callaway, JT Boyd, Vinnie Scholes, Lakin Herndon, and the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck round out the top 10. All 3 of the Columbia cars still in the race are up into the top 10, so good run for that team. but it's Andrew Kreider who's going to lead them back to the green here at Indianapolis. Could this be the final restart? We'll see. And already to the inside is the 11 of Tim Berry, wasting no time dispatching of the 45, and now he's going to try and get the lead.
Oh boy, Landry got caught napping again on that restart. Trying to get it back regrouped, but Berry to the lead here down the back straightaway. Rebecca Raymond's going to peek down to the inside to help. Same for the 66 of Tyler Landry. Tajima's also back here. And then you got Callaway and JT Boyd. Haven't really talked about him much at all this race. He hasn't really shown his face up front so far. But he's up here battling for this lead late off of a good pit stop. Same goes for the 62 of Vinny Scholes. But man, they're going at it up here as Tim Berry now trying to pull away as they're going crazy there for second. They're still side by side with Landry and Rebecca Raymond going at it. Raymond's got a run on the top, though. We'll see if Raymond can maybe hold him off. It looks like she's going to be able to.
Great defense there by the 45, but great attack, great restart by Tim Berry. Went from third to first right off the gate. And if he can win here, he could... I know he said it last week that he could come out with the biggest points lead we've ever seen. But he didn't quite get that. But if he wins today, he's almost certainly going to come out with the biggest points lead we've ever seen, especially since Kevin Dupont is way back there in the field. And now Landry's up to second, making it a McPicky 1-2. Tajima's going to move his way to third. Raymond and the 70 of Andrew Kreider. Oh, Kreider almost gets into the 45. That was close right there between those two. They're battling each other for the fourth position. And now Tajima looking to the inside of Landry here. Do we think the 99 has anything for the 11 of Berry?
99 might look into the inside of the 66 of Tyler Landry. Landry goes really wide there through turn one, but might have got a decent enough exit. But Tajima is going to try to maybe run him up the track even a little bit through turn two. They're going to stay side by side down the back straightaway. But we know that 99's fast. Tajima led a lot of the early parts of this race. But we'll see if Tajima can find his way back towards the front. The Andrew Kreider back there trying to get underneath Rebecca Raymond. Not quite going to get there. You also got Vinny Scholes looking to try to make her way through the field. Past JT Boyd now looking to try and get past Andrew Kreider. Not quite going to be able to do it right now, though. Kreider got a good run there in that middle lane and is going to hold her off right now. But coming to, I believe, 7 laps to go this time by. Tajima trying to run Berry down, and Tajima's going to have the draft. He's going to have the help from Tyler Landry. I think Tajima might have something up his sleeve before this race is all said and done.
Berry's got a pretty sizable lead over these guys, but he can't get out too far because that draft will reel them all back in, just like a rubber band effect in Mario Kart. And that's what you're seeing the 99 and 66 doing right now. As long as the 66 stays behind the 99, they'll catch up to the 11. And this was the scenario.
Oh, yeah, here they come.
The 99 was in the 11 scenario back in Kentucky, where he was out in front, but the cars in second and third kept battling each other. This time, though, they're working together, and Akiya Tajima is rapidly closing in on that 11 car of Tim Berry. 6 laps to go this time by. Let's see. Front three closing back in on each other. We're about to have a duel here for the win.
Definitely. It looks like we might have 3, maybe 4 cars going at it for this race win. This Raymond's right back there, trying everything she can to close back in. All those guys back there are just going at it after each other, and that's really holding them back. But Tajima's well in the draft right now of Tim Berry, trying to catch back up to that 11, trying to gain. Tajima braked a little bit early there for turn 3, maybe trying to go for the exit. That's exactly what he was going for. Got a good run there off of turn 3 and into turn number 4. Tajima trying everything he can to catch up to the 11, and it's probably a good thing that they're working together instead of going at it, because that would just allow the 11 to pull away even more. But 5 to go this time by from Indianapolis. Raymond, he's just kind of hanging back there, maybe trying everything she can to close. He's just outside of a second back, looking to maybe try and snip the draft off of Tyler Landry.
And she is going to join in this pack, it looks like. She's been using that draft to try and catch up back into them, so it's probably going to be a 4-car battle, but the 99 has not been getting close enough to the 11 of Berry. Berry's just executing these corners flawlessly here, and there's only so much the 99 can do if the 11's just not making any mistakes at all. And Tim Berry looking to further extend the points lead and put an exclamation point on him being the championship favorite. But there's still plenty of time for these guys behind him to catch him. And you know, catching him is one thing, but passing him is a whole other monster. So Tajima's got to keep that in mind. But he is hounding him here through turns 1 and 2. Oh, this is a good exit off
Tajima's
of
got
2.
a good
Here he
run.
comes. He's got to run now. Let's see if he can do anything into turn 3.
Looks like Barry knew it then as he covered the bottom coming off of turn number 2. Tajima right on the back bumper, peeking to the inside, not quite making the move just yet. Just gonna try and stay in behind the 11 for the time being. See what this 99 does down the front straightaway. Checked up a little early there for turn 4, maybe going for the drive off. Tyler Landry now right on the back bumper of the 99, looking to push Tajima up there. Raymond's kind of falling off there in that 45. I don't think Raymond might be a factor in this anymore unless these three get together, which, with how these guys are racing, I still wouldn't probably rule that out. But Tajima trying to do everything he can to reel in and pass this 11 with 3 laps to go.
Good exit off of 2, but if you're Tajima right here, maybe you're thinking maybe you don't want to make the move too early and allow the others to open up an opportunity to pass you. So maybe you're just kind of sitting back there waiting for the right moment to make that move. 3 laps to go. He's right on the back bumper, and Landry's going to catch up to both of them. He's going to peek to the inside. Tajima's going to cover the bottom, but the 11 got a big launch off the corner, very similar to what we saw last lap. And if he keeps doing that, I think Barry's got this in the bag. But we'll see what these two do here. I think if Landry gets underneath Tajima, it might be over for him. There's only 2 laps to go. But Tajima's closing back in, reeling him back in. But the 66 keeps looking low. And he's going to try and peek to the inside off of turn 2, but not enough momentum.
Down the back stretch for the second to final time. Tyler Landry, he tried looking there on the 99 at Tajima, wasn't able to get enough of a run there to get underneath the 99. Tajima with a good run there through turn 3, looking to catch up to the back bumper for maybe one more charge. Tajima sails it in there into turn number 4. We'll see who gets the better drive off down the front straightaway. Tajima might have a little bit run as we come down the front stretch to take the white flag. 1 lap to go here from Indy.
1 lap left, and Tajima's running out of time to make a move. Tim Berry solid through turn number 1.
Boy.
Tajima right behind him. I think he's going to have to try and build up some momentum going into turn number 3. He's looking to the inside off of 2. He's got to keep that momentum going, though. He can't let it spoil, but I think he did. I think he had to let off a little bit, but we'll see what he can do. Going into turn 3, he's going to look, but he's not going to make a move yet. He's going to have to do it right here. I just don't think he's got enough of a race car. I think Barry's just too good at handling it. Oh, Tajima got a good run off of 4.
Oh, he got a run.
He's going to peek to the inside, but he's not going to fully go
Not
down
enough.
there. Tim Berry, the points leader, is your first multi-time winner here at Indianapolis. And it was a flawless restart and a flawless result. And Tim Berry, I think by now, is officially broken away from everybody else in terms of the championship favorite. What an excellent race there by Tim Berry. Tajima threw everything he had on him, but he just did not have enough, and Tim Berry becomes the first multi-time winner of the season, breaks the different winner streak, and considering he already had a massive points lead, that points lead is only gonna get bigger.
That was a great performance there by Tim Berry. Absolutely showing why he's the points leader at the moment. Almost an absolutely flawless performance there by that 11 team. Getting it done there on that final restart and holding off a hard-charging Akira Tajima. And he's going to break the different winners streak and become the first multi-time winner. And yeah, like you said, that is really, really going to extend his points lead because Kevin DuPont finished back in the 12th position. So yeah, just all around a great, great showing there from Tim Berry, our points leader.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if he led the most laps in this race, but either way, this was a This was a well-earned win by Tim Berry, and he's proving why he is the points leader. He was just able to control that car better than everybody else. Tajima, Landry threw everything they had at him, but they just could not get by him. 26 cars finishing the race, all of them on the lead lap. And all of the retirements from this race came from the first accident back on lap number 7. So, yeah, really only one big crash in this race. And all the retirements came from that. But Tim Berry wins the race. Tajima still a respectable second-place finish. Tyler Landry finishing 3rd. And even though Berry, won the race, Landry's still going to stay within striking distance of him. Rebecca Raymond 4th. Andrew Kreider finishes in 5th. Raymond, this is the weekend that Rebecca Raymond needed. She didn't win the race, but she was first in practice, second in qualifying, and 4th in the race. So that's overall just a great run by that 45 crew. Kobe Hollenbeck, Laken Herndon in the 39, 6th, and 7th, and that's 3 cars in the top 7 for Columbia Motorsports. George Bryan, Vinny Scholes, Zach Dearman out of nowhere finishes 10th. So that's a good run for him. A couple of those drivers at the back half of the top 10 just kind of came out of nowhere. Kevin DuPont finished 12th, so it could have been worse, but 12th place is not going to be good enough to keep up with this 11 car because he's just on fire. Jacob Lopez, Jack Gino, and we see a couple of the cars that were up front early in the race. Karina Wills-Callaway finished 15th. Oscar Duvall, who looked really fast at the end of that second stint, he just said that if he can get out of the pit stops well, that he could be a threat. Well, he had a terrible pit stop during the caution, fell all the way down to 19th, and then he lost another spot on that stint. He ends up finishing 20th, so that's a tough break for him. And then a lot of these cars outside the top 20 that were still running were wounded by a crash. Holly Martin, Luana Connie, Billy Smith, Kate Summers all had some sort of damage. Lori Jackson did not have a front end. I'm surprised she finished that close behind the 6th car. And of course, Ryan Silva was off the pace.
Hello?
Pulled a bit of a strategy to keep himself in the race, but he didn't end up gaining any spots out of it. But, you never know. Maybe something could have happened, Also, by the way, 85 1,000ths of a second. That's one of the closest finishes we've ever seen here in the LSCI. Even though they were nose to tail, that just goes to show Tajima was right behind the 11 that entire time. Well, Caleb, that was definitely an interesting race for sure. Go ahead and give us a recap of what happened in this race, and maybe give us a preview for next week at Chicagoland, another 1.5 mile track, and not too far away from Indianapolis, as a matter of fact.
Definitely was a great race here from Indianapolis. Definitely had a lot to go off of, a lot to talk about, and a lot of great racing here from Indy. Like I said, Indy usually always gives us some good racing, and yeah, today was no different. Definitely had a lot of great battles, and had some wrecks. Hopefully, Charlie McCarron is okay after that violent crash, but yeah, still, regardless of the fact, that was a great race here from Indy, and Chicagoland's another track that I think is going to be a lot of fun as well. That track also usually cooks here in NR. So definitely ought to be a lot of fun next week as well. It'll also be interesting to see how Tim Berry goes off of this race, how he defends that point lead. Definitely be interesting to see going into the next couple of races.
It's possible Tim Berry will leave Indianapolis with over a race's worth of points lead, with only 8 races left to go in the season, or 9 races to go rather. So drivers are starting to run out of time to catch him, and he's only getting better. So it's definitely going to be tough for them. Chicagoland, we've only had one race here before, and it was a combined cup race in 2022. This is a completely different, brand new, well, not really brand new. The reskin was recent, but this is a new version of Chicagoland compared to the one we used before. And definitely excited to run it next week and see what that track has in store. Well, that's going to do it here today at Indianapolis. Congratulations again to Tim Berry and McPickey Motorsports for their second win of the season. Took 19 races for us to get a repeat winner. That is absolutely incredible. But that's it for today's festivities. And on behalf of Caleb and myself, this is Brendan Wilmington from the Left Turn Network, signing out. So, Here we have a post-race update on the status of Charlie McCarron. McCarron was helped out of her car after her vicious crash, which you're seeing on screen right now. It looked pretty bad for her, but she escaped with only a sprained ankle. And it is a testament to the safety of these cars that she was able to at least limp away from it. She says she's going to attempt to run next week's race at Chicagoland, but if she feels she's unfit to, Jamison Walker will be the substitute driver for her. Couple options are on the table for her, including a mid-race driver swap. But yeah, Charlie McCarron escaped any major injury, just a sprained ankle for her. So she's definitely very lucky to not be seriously hurt after that.